This is a signal box. We've got line 1, up line distance signal, 2 up. Barrow Hill Roundhouse Railway Museum. The Barrow Hill was built on the instructions of brothers George and Richard Barrow between 1840 and 1865. So this is the foreman's office where everybody clocks in. And now we're in exhibition room. Oh, some coal. And this was a colliery apparently. Rail fittings. Arrival of the railways. The Industrial Revolution is very much linked to the rise of railways. The ability to transport huge quantities of goods and raw materials compared to canals or horse and cart. So the new factories and engineering companies grow enormously. Why build our roundhouse? After the arrival of the North Midland Railway in 1840, the ironworks grew rapidly. It had its own company railway and transport coal and iron around its site, which soon outgrew the original engine shed. What are you up to, Shaz?
Playing.
Playing? You like pushing buttons, don't you, Shaz? Great Central Locomotive, Butler Henderson 506. Butler Henderson 1919. Engine and tender locomotive number 506, Great Central Railway. Midland Railway Locomotive 1000 was built at Derby at the Midland Railway's own works during 1901 to 1902. It was designed by Samuel Johnson. Let's go and have a look in. Take a look, chuckling myself because there's an 85 over there. I remember 85s. I would have thought of them being in a museum. This is what it looks like up on board. Number 1000. Class 158A, Mr. Class 156240 MR, Midland Railway. Open cab, so you get wet when it's raining, but stay cool anyhow. Steam shunting locomotive 3272 Vulcan. Vulcan was built in 1918 at the Vulcan factory at Dunton, the Willows, Lancashire, where it was the works shunter. It is called a saddle tank because its water tank sits over the top of the engine like a saddle. As soon as it mentioned Vulcan, I thought, I wonder if it's the Newton Bellows Vulcan factory. And it was. Little engine's called Henry. Hello, little Henry. Hawthorne Leslie Locomotive Henry. The Howard Leslie Company evolved from two shipbuilding companies, Hawthorne and Leslie, who joined forces in 1984. They changed direction and began to build railway locomotives. These locomotives built at the Fourth Bank Works in 1901. It is a very well travelled engine having a variety of owners and jobs. It began work at Webster's Brick Line Works in Coventry, named Roswell after the managing director's daughter. A goods lorry, a wagon, and a Ruston shunter, diesel shunter 2996. And there's a Shazza. And the turntable. A shed with the turntables, an efficient way of storing locomotives, allowing easy access to them and enabling them to be turned around. Steam locomotives have a front and a back and need to be turned around to go back into service. Modern locomotives have a driving cab at each end and do not need to be turned. Yorkshire 02003, and that's the Ruston again. That looks like a 08 to me. Zero 2003 with a green wooden goods vehicle on the back. Diesel 10, class 10 diesel, no, 08 is 10. Shunting locomotive D40 92. You're welcome in the but exhibition is still being worked on. So this is a ex-fish. It's a little engine up here. We're pretending about train out going on. Chubbity chum, chubbity chum, chubbity chum. If Smithy were here, tell us all about that engine. Where are you, Smithy, when we need you? The railways between 1840 and 1890s, 3 railway companies built lines through Chesterfield. This new method of transporting their products enabled local businesses to expand the railways where themselves. Major employers and new jobs were created in supply industries. Chesterfield Industry. Chesterfield's rich reserves of coal and other raw materials stimulated industrial growth in the 1700s and 1800s. In the 1700s, the introduction of blast furnaces fired by coke transformed Chesterfield's iron industry. I used to work in an iron foundry. Did about 6 months. Didn't really like it. Harry. The Drewbury car. Loco number 2589. Here's an old train worker. It's the guard. Sharon the guard. This is a brake van. That's the brake. Vacuum brake. That's a vacuum brake. Taking the brake off. Taking the brake off at the other side.
This is Barrow Hill's claim to fame, our turntable. It was the last operational one in the country. It was still in situ doing the job it was intended to do until 1991 when this depot closed. We think this is the third turntable that's been in this pit. When it first went in, it was completely manually operated. There's a handle like this on the opposite corner as well. And they just swung them out and pushed it round. Then they added the drive platform on the side here. It was originally powered by the vacuum they used for the brakes on the locomotives. There was a motor stuck out there, used to couple it up, and that drove it round. But they also put a winding handle on it, so you can move it manually, where it's much easier to do it without than it is to push it. So when they stopped using vacuum brakes and went on to air, they put the electric drive on it. So as it can keep going round and round in either direction, the power has to come in the top through what we call a slip ring unit. So one part of it stands still, and the other runs round it, picks the power up, and brings it down here. Now there's no automation on lining it up. You can control the brake and you can control the motor, but it's knowing when to do both. But you're going to line us up on 21, Dan? Spot on. And when you get in line, you put the locking lever in. That locks the turntable in place. There's two steel bars come out from underneath and rest on the side of the turntable. You can see where they run on the opposite side. You can see the little grooves. So now it can't move sideways, it can't rock up and down, and it's also cut off the supply so you can't drive it electrically. majority of the weight of the turntable and anything, obviously anything that's on it, is carried on the centre bearing. There's a centre pedestal stood up with a dome top on it, which is covered in brass. The turntable's got a cup underneath it, that sits on top, that's also covered in brass, and there's an oil feeder on to lubricate it. So that's where the vast majority of the weight is. The wheels on the end are mostly for balance. Now it's traditionally left in the straight through position when not in use, because the yard is on a slight slope, and they always said if anything ran away in the yard, they would far rather it went straight through the roundhouse and out the back into an area of scrubland they used to call the garden. It being easier to pull something out the garden than get it out the pit. You see the picture of a diesel, just with its nose ending, it took them 3 days to get it out. Keep jacking it up with step jacks, packing it up with sleepers, jack it up again. Hard work. We've put derailers up the yard now, so there's nothing can get in the roundhouse if it runs away. But we still always leave it in the straight through position, and we still call that road the garden road.
What we got out here then? Oh, toilets. $45.06 Sherwood Forester. Looks like there's a refurbed carriage coming on here. Some train tracks. Coal stage, viewing area and signal box. It's being restored, its adult seats and tables taken out. The coaling stage. The coaling stage is a very recognizable building from the steam era. Steam locomotives used large quantities of coal which needed loading into the eye tenders. Direct rail, Wabtec 08571. Class 20s, I think them. Class 46, Class 82, and a Class 27. Right, so climbing up to the signal box. It's locked at the moment, so I think they do a demonstration, but I'm not sure we'll be here to see it. But we'll have a look through the window. So this is a signal box. We've got line 1, up line distance signal, 2 up line home signal, 3 up line starting signal. Got a stove in there, a gas cooker. I'm guessing that they must have toilet facilities underneath or something for the signalman to go to. Back down the steps we go. Right, I was right, these are Class 20s, even though the green ones have got the D numbers on. I'm not quite sure what D numbers are. I think they are the numbers that they had prior to being called a Class 20 or after. Who knows? Maybe you could drop a comment in the comments below. The man was saying that a lot of these engines pay rent to be stored here. Some of the engines in the engine shed belong to York Rail Museum because they've not got anywhere to keep them in their place, so they ship them out to other railways to be kept. A Euro Phoenix. It's got the table strips out. I thought it was a carriage. It's actually part of a DMU set. Celtic Preservation Society. We are the Preservation Society. At 08's got a hat on. Must have a leak in the roof. Oh, Celtic. That's nice and shiny. Engine. Big things, aren't they? A Celtic 2-stroke compression ignition engine. Air inlet, fuel pump and exhaust. Right, we're sat in the driver's seat of a Celtic. And there's all the gauges. And that's shut down. That might be forward, reverse, speed limiter, a dinger for when you go over the dingers, you know, on the track where it goes ding and it has to do something. I can see Shazza out of the window. There's some bulgies off her engine. Inspector charge before assessing vehicle. Baby Celtic. Great Western 5164. No entry, please keep off this locomotive. Great Western Rail Locomotive 5164 was built at the Swindon Works of Great Western Railway at a cost of £4,220. Baby Celtic Project 5910. LNER 8217. London and North Eastern Locomotive 8217 has had a complicated life. It has had several numbers and belonged to several companies and has been different classes of locomotive. Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. Football teams and names of 2 engines. Well, that was Barrow Bridge. No, sorry, it wasn't Barrow Bridge, it was Barrowhill Roundhouse. And we've enjoyed our little look around there, haven't we, Shaz?
Yep.
We enjoyed our bacon back as well, didn't we, Shaz?
Yep.
And where we're going now, Shaz?
The cookie.
Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably see in another video.
station. Please say a command.